Hi everyone, my name is Kat, and today we will be creating a work of art inspired by Surrealism. This project is for grade 7, and you could probably tweak it for ages around grade 7, maybe grade 6 or grade 8. I did look at the Ontario curriculum for visual arts in elementary school to make this project, but you could probably tweak it to wherever you're teaching or whatever age group or level you are teaching. I included a little lesson on surrealism, so you can play that for your class if you would like. And so without further ado, let's get into the video. Let's start out with the question, what is surrealism? What is the strangest dream that you can remember? Well, like your weird and wonderful dreams, surrealism is a style of art that is inspired by dreams, magic, and fantasy worlds that provide an escape from reality. One of the most well-known surrealist painters is Spanish artist Salvador Dali. He's known for his weird and wacky ways of putting objects together in paintings and creating imaginative and thought-provoking landscapes and scenes that make the viewer feel like they're entering into a dream world. One of Salvador Dali's most famous paintings is called The Persistence of Memory from 1931. What are some objects that you see in this painting? And how does Salvador Dali represent these objects in a strange way? What makes this painting feel dreamlike, as if you're in a fantasy world? Some other famous surrealist artists throughout history are Mexican artist Frida Kahlo, Belgian artist René Magritte, and American artist Dorothea Tannen. Out of all of these artists, which one sticks out to you? Which painting do you find the most bizarre and why? What are some symbols in this painting that you find interesting? And what do they mean to you? Now that we've learned about surrealism and looked at some surrealist painters, let's start our project. The materials you'll need are the book If by Sarah Perry, paper to make notes on, a computer, a printer, watercolor paper, pencils, watercolor paints and brushes, markers, pencil crayons, and any other drawing materials available. To find this book called If by Sarah Perry, you can check your local library or order it online. This book will be the base for our project because it's full of surreal and imaginative imagery. Let's do a little sneak peek. If cats could fly, if frogs ate rainbows, if dogs were mountains, if leaves were fish. Once you've read this book, it's time to create your own if statements. This will be the inspiration behind our art creation for today. Write down 6 or more if statements, just like in Sarah Perry's book. Now is your time to be as creative as possible. If you need some help getting inspired, take a look around you and what do you see? A desk? Chairs? Pencils? A chalkboard? Now imagine something completely strange about these objects that you see around you. For example, if your desk could tap dance, or if pencils wore pants. Once you have at least 6 if statements, choose your favorite one. This will be the one that you draw. This will also be the subject of your drawing. The subject is the main focus of a drawing, painting, or photograph. It's kind of like the main character of an art piece. For example, my chosen if statement is, if kittens grew on trees. So my subject will be a tree full of kittens. Now that we have our subject, we need to find our setting. What kind of fantasy world does your subject live in? To make my drawing even more bizarre and dreamlike, my kitten tree will be in the middle of the ocean. When thinking of your setting, be as creative as possible. What's the wackiest place you can think of? On a piece of paper, write down your if statement, your main subject, and your setting. The next step is to do some research. You'll need some reference photos for your drawing, so hop on the internet and find some photos. For example, my chosen if statement is, if kittens grew on trees. So I'm going to need some pictures of trees and kittens to use as my reference. Copy and paste some of your favorite images onto a Word document and print them out so you can look at them as you draw. Now that we have your if statement, your subject, your setting, and your reference photos all ready to go, you can begin to draw. Begin with a light pencil sketch. This step is for mapping out your drawing, so it's helpful to start with a very light pencil strokes. That way, it's easier to erase if you want to make a change. It's up to you to determine the placement of your drawing. Begin with the most basic shapes you can see in your reference photos and add smaller details last. So as you can see, I've drawn my main subject, which is a tree with kittens growing from it, and I've put it in a setting of the middle of the ocean. So I've drawn the ocean out in the background. Once you have your main sketch down, it's time to add lots of color. Let's make this dream world super colorful with watercolor paints. When using watercolors, add lots of water to your paint to dilute the color. This way, you can keep adding layers of paint and work your way up to having more and more color. So I started with painting my background. I started with the sky, and now I'm painting in the ocean, and I'm working my way towards the front of the painting, so the foreground. And I'm just using small amounts of paint as I go. And this is what I have so far. So this is just the layer of watercolor. And so you can see my tree has come to life with color. It looks like there's little kittens growing from it. And it's also in the middle of the ocean, which is super, super strange. And that's what gives it the surrealist style. So this is the last step of our project today. You can take any drawing materials like markers, crayons, pencil crayons, anything that you have, and you can add details. So I'm using a marker and I'm adding little details in the little kittens' faces, and I'm drawing in some more details in the leaves of the tree and in the trunk of the tree and the water. And here I'm taking a white paint marker and I'm just adding in a little bit of highlights just to add some final touches. And there we have it. There is our surrealism inspired art piece. Thank you so much for joining me in creating today, and if you tried this out with your class, please let me know how it went. I'd love to know if they enjoyed it. And feel free to leave me a comment down below if you need anything in particular involving art ideas or project ideas. And please subscribe to my channel if you'd like to see more videos by me. I'll see you next week. Bye!